Acting out. This means literally acting out the desires that are forbidden by the superego and yet desired by the ID. Aim inhibition. Sometimes we have desires and um, goals that we believe to realize that we are unable to achieve. Altruism. Avoid your own pains by concentrating on the pains of others. Next is attack. The best form of defense is attack. Is a common saying and is also common action. And when we feel treated or attacked, even even by psychological, even with attack and back. Next is avoidance. In avoidance, we simplify ways of avoiding having to face uncomfortable situations, things, or actives. Next is compartmentalization. It is a divide and conquer process for separating truths that will conflict with one another. Compensation. Where a person has a weakness in one area, they may compensate by accentuating or building up strength in another area. Next is conversion. Conversion accuse cognitive tension manifest themselves in physical symptoms. And next is denial. Denial is simply refusing to acknowledge that an event has occurred. Next is displacement. Displacement. Displacement, it refers to the shifting of action from a desired target to a substitute target. There are some reason why the first target is not permitted or not. Next is dissociation. Dissociation involved separating set of truths or activities from the main area conscious mind in order to public that this world goes. And next is uh, emotionally. When we become stress or tension is innocent uh, number or negative, including finger, frustration, fear, and jealousy, and so on. Fantasy or daydreaming, when we cannot achieve or do something that we want, we um, channel the anything created by the desire into fantastic imagining. Next is fight or fight reaction. When we first significant threat to us, then or our bodies get ready, um, either for a fight to the superior adversary. Next is uh, help rejecting complaining. A person becomes accepts or other ways elicit supporting action from another people. Um, Next is idealization. It is the overestimation of the cerebral qualities and underestimation of the limitation of a desire and things. Next is identification. Uh, it occurs when a person changes parent, patient, patience of self personality such that she refers to the her light of the other people. Next is intellectualization. Um, this refers uh, to fight into reason when the person avoid uncomfortable emotions by focusing on facts and logic. um, Introjection. um, Introjection occurs as a coping mechanism when we take on attributes of other people's who seems better and able to with the situation that will we do. Next is passive aggression. A person who use passive aggressive method to cope with the stress. This by the attacking others. Truth passive and make. Next is cause 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 traumatic floating. An individual to has suffered uh, traumatic experience somehow and find ways to turn into something and good. And next is projection. When a person has uncomfortable truths or feelings, he and she may project these onto other people, assign the truths feelings that he and she into repressed to a convenience alternative target. Next is pro pro provo, provocation for free floating. In a person feels it is stress and he is away to avoid daily and with the real issues is to provoke others into some kind of reaction. And next is reaction of permission. Reaction permission occurs when a person feels urge to do or say something and then actually those or say something uh, that is effectively the opposite of what he and she really wants. Rational realization. When something happens that which find difficult to accept, then we will make of a logical reason why it has happened. Um, Next is regression. Regression. Regression is involves uh, taking the position of a child in some problematic situation rather than and acting in a more adult ways. Next is repression. Repression involves placing uncomfortable uncomfortable truth in relatively inaccessible areas of the subconscious um, of mind. Next is self-harming. The person physically physically deliberating heart himself or herself heals herself for the other ways puts puts themselves uh, high risk of harm. Next is sama somatization occurs uh, whereas a psychological problem um, turns into physical and um, subconscious symptoms. Next is sublimation. Sublimation, the case of transformation of unwanted uh, impulses into something less of hard balls.